Hey everybody, welcome back to the All Out Motorsports YouTube channel. I'm your host Alex Bowman, and we have a lot of work to do this week because it is race week, baby! So, big whoopsie of the year already is, it is April 23rd, I think. It's a Friday. Yeah, April 23rd. And I was still thinking it was middle of April. And the first race is on May the 1st. And just over a week on Saturday. I thought I still had like 2 more weeks to get ready. Turns out I've got like 7 days. And in that time, I have 5 days of work, have to write 2 papers for school, and a lot of stuff to get ready for racing. So this is going to be a very busy week. Okay, so getting started off real quick, I found a new place to mount my my to-do list of stuff. So come on over here, and we see that this is all the stuff that I have to do this week for everything. So just typical things like lubing bearings, putting graphic savers on. I have to switch the engine on Aries. I have to put the right gears on each one. I'm still waiting for a transponder pouch to come in, put the rivets on Nike, fire up the engine, that kind of stuff. Shouldn't be too hard. Then I also need to size my tires, resurface them, and print out a gear ratio chart for switching back and forth between those 2 different styles of gears that I'm going to be running. So, depending on the condition of my tires, could be pretty easy. Could be pretty hard. So it's, like I said, it's Friday afternoon right now. I've got the rest of the night tonight to work on it, and I'm off Monday and Tuesday. Other than that, I'm working every day until race day. So it's going to be a lot of long days, long nights to get everything done. But you know what? We can do it. First thing that I'm going to start off with is resizing tires. The reason I'm going to start off with that one is basically just because it sometimes takes some time for them to get the size right, for them to readjust their size and everything. And if they're pretty close, it won't take long to do. But if I need big adjustments, it could take all week to get them where they need to be. So I'm going to get those started tonight, and then we'll worry about the carts later on down the road. So taking a look at my tires here, step back a little bit. We got this nice tire rack that my dad made me. As you can see, here's all my tires. These top ones are a different compound that we're not allowed to use this weekend. And then these 4 are all Burris, what is it? What's that compound called? Let's see, where does it say it on here? Here we go. Burris SS33A. That is the compound that is required by the Ohio Championship Karting Series, which is the series that's putting on the race for this weekend. So I need to go through all of these today and size them. I have 2 more sets that my kind of, I don't know what you want to call him, teammate, kind of half crew chief, I don't know, Josh Brown, he's one of my good friends, and he is really good with tires and everything, so he got me some new tires. So in total, I will have 6 sets of Burris tires. Hopefully that'll be good enough. A lot of people have a lot more than that, but one, I don't really know how to do tires that well and what to do with that many different sets of tires. Also, with as expensive as all of these are, I don't want to spend that much money on tires either. But like, the more I'm doing this, the more I'm realizing that I need a lot of tires because tires win races. First thing I need to do is fill these up with air. Chances are they're all going to be small because like they all are pretty much flat. They all have a lot less air in them. If you can see the coloration of them right now, it's going to take a bit to resurface them, but I'm going to deal with that later on this week. And then I also have a nice spreadsheet over here on the computer. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the screen, but I've got a nice spreadsheet where it's got compound, size, duro, all of that good stuff. So when I'm getting tires ready to measure the size of all of them, I've found a pretty good system to do it. So to start off with, I'll kind of turn them all so I can see the face of all of them and get to their valve stems real easy. And then I'll take this air chuck that's hooked up to the air compressor, and this is a big one, so it goes all the way to 160 psi. But the smallest mark is only like 10 psi. So I'll just go around and I'll fill them all up to 10 psi. And then once I've done that, just put that aside and get out my karting, whatever this thing's called, air pressure gauge. And as you can see, this one's on a much smaller scale and you can be a lot more precise with it. So then I'll go along and I'll lower all of the left side tires down to 4 psi and the right sides to 5 psi. That might not be exactly what we end up running in the race, but it'll be close enough to get the sizing right. And while I was doing that, I was actually thinking, you guys are probably gonna watch this and wonder why I get so stressed out about it, because it's gonna look super simple to you guys, because it's really just setting air pressures and then using a tape measure and measuring and writing down that measurement. Well, yeah, it's pretty simple, but these tires are so sensitive that sometimes at the track, we'll make 1/4 of a PSI adjustments to the air pressure. 1/4 of a PSI, that is so small. Got the tires all sized up, surprisingly in a lot better shape than I was expecting. So if we take a look here, the ones that are turned this way are good to go. The ones that are turned with the wheel facing me need some resizing. So all of the left fronts are good. All of the left rears are good. So left side, good to go. You're staying perfect. I love you guys. The right sides, however, this little baby right here, number, let's see, where's your number at? I appreciate you. R2, baby. I love you. Right rear of set number 2. It's the only right side that didn't change. This one needs to lose 1/2 inch. This, words I don't want to say. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. It grew. It grew. It sat all winter with barely any air in it, if any at all. And it grew. It was, okay, it already had a little too much stagger in it, but it grew 1/8 of an inch from last time I measured it. Someone explain that to me. I don't believe that I ran it. According to my chart, let's see, that is set 3 right rear. Yeah. Didn't run it since last time I used it, or didn't run since last time I used it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Didn't run it since last time I measured it, but it grew. Anyways, what I'm probably gonna do with all of my ones that need to grow an 1/8, I'm probably going to put 20 pounds. It's cold out. I might need more than that. 20 to 30 pounds. I'll figure out while I'm doing it. 20 to 30 pounds of pressure in probably all of them. The 3/8 one I'll put more, but then I'll check the 1/8 tomorrow and see where those are at. The 1/2 inch will take, or wait, no. I've got a 1/4 somewhere. That'll take longer. The 1/8 might be able to grow just with 20 to 30 pounds overnight. But I'll check back in with you guys in the morning and let you know how it's going. It's 2 days later, and update on the tires. So the next morning I woke up and checked all of the ones that only needed to grow an 1/8, and they were all perfect. And then later that night I checked the one that needed to grow a 1/4, and it was perfect as well. So all of them are ready to go. Well, were ready to go. But the reason I say they were all ready to go, so I get all of those ready, and then middle of the day yesterday while I'm at work, my teammate Josh texts me, who he knows a whole lot more about setup and everything than me, so I always ask him for like stagger and gearing and all of that for when we go places. And he tells me we need a different stagger than what I was going for. So we're gonna do some reworking to get the staggers where I need them, even though I thought I had them all perfect. But, you know, that's how it goes. Next thing on the agenda for the day is resurfacing tires. This is something I'm not super fond of. It's actually my first year doing it here at the house. Normally I would take it either to Josh's house or to Brandon's house and use their resurfacer and they'd help me out with it. But I got my own resurfacer and everything this year, so this is a new adventure for me. It's a very dirty adventure though. I don't know how well you can see, but like I'm already all covered in rubber and everything, and that's after only doing the left sides. And take a look at it though, like this is a newly resurfaced tire, all nice, and then this one hasn't been done yet, and like it's slippery and you can tell it's dirty. And then like these are all nice and grippy. These have been done already too. Yeah, so started off with the left sides, and then we'll be going, oh yeah, you can tell really good right there. Like look how dirty and nasty this is, but then like look at this one, how nice and smooth it is. This is my setup I got going. So we got the resurfacer, and then I hung up a like shower curtain because look at all the rubber that comes off, and I don't want that all just flying everywhere. Got all of the tires resurfaced, and I gotta say, they are looking fantastic. I am super happy with how these all turned out. But I think they're all good. Let's hope so. I'll find out on Saturday when I talk with Josh, because he's the one that did a lot of teaching me how to do this. So I'll show him my tires and he can kind of critique my style and tell me what I need to do different. Because he knows tires so well, he can look at my tires and tell me exactly what I did right and what I did wrong with resurfacing them. So I'm looking forward to that feedback. Moving on, figure out what I need to do to get that stagger where I need it to be for this weekend. I'm gonna have to be doing math. Math isn't really my strong suit, but you know, oh well. Before I get to that though, as you guys saw in the time lapse, the trailer showed up today. My dad was keeping it down at his shop, which his company and my biggest sponsor is Bucher Drilling Services, and he keeps it keeps it there for me throughout the winter so that we can have some extra space in our driveway, because with all the cars we have, we need all the space we can get. So we brought that home, which is super exciting because I need to start getting it loaded up. So what we need to do before we can race is we need to raise this up, because the top of this is like 36.5 inches. Yeah, but the toolbox that I got is like 37.75 inches tall. So it should be pretty easy. It's really just unscrewing some screws on the boards down there and raising it all up a tiny bit. So not a big deal, but just something else on the list that needs to be done. And then, you know, it's got a cobweb on me. Finally got that out of there. So much more room now. I'm gonna have to really evaluate if I actually want that or not before I put it back in. That opens up a lot of room for getting two carts in here. But anyways, I don't think my dad was planning on that thing ever coming out of here. It had so many screws in it, crisscrossed applesauce, all over the place. But I finally got it. Biggest issue was one of the screws. I've got this like epoxy flooring on the trailer, and I had it on the desk, table, whatever you want to call it, workbench as well. And a bunch of that had gotten down in a screw. By the time I got it out, it had stripped the screw. So I couldn't get that screw out. So if I could have got that out, it would have been a whole lot easier. But I got it. So now I'm gonna do a quick sweep and test fit to see where everything's gonna go in here before I put that back. a good thing that I started off with doing the trailer, because now I realize that's one less thing I have to worry about with rebuilding the workbench, because I'm not gonna have room to have a workbench now. As I'm sure you probably saw on the time lapse, things barely fit in here. So let's look at this. I got cart number 1 here, tires, cart number 2, and toolbox. And that one is almost all up as far as it can go. It could come to the center a little bit more and fit up to the nose all the way. And this is in here by like an inch. So yeah, okay, I didn't realize it was gonna be this tight of a squeeze in here. But anyways, so kind of what I'm thinking, obviously have these here, kind of have this all where it is, and then kind of squeeze through here, put the tire resurfacer in that area. I think that's enough room. If not, the tire rack can always slide down a little bit. Put my bucket for washing tires right in there. I think that'll fit perfectly right there. And then I have that area right up there. All that area up in the nose there that I can put stuff as well. Yeah. Oh, and then I have 2 cabinets that I'm going to hang up. I was planning on putting those side by side next to the toolbox underneath the workbench, but improvise, adapt, and overcome. The only nice thing will mean like when we're at the track and everything's out of here, we'll have so much room in here for activities. Honestly, I always forget how big these carts are until I put them in the trailer, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they're actually kind of big. It's back to thrashing on the carts. So first up is Nike. I am going to start extremely simple because I am starting to get worn out. Just attaching this transponder pouch to right down here on like the base of the steering shaft. Just 2 zip ties, zip them on there, and it's good to go. Now onto the graphic savers. Before I do that though, I need to put these E&J Cuts stickers on. E&J Cuts, that's Eddie and Josh, which Eddie is one of my teammates. Well, I mean, they're both my teammates. It's a father and son. Josh is the one that I've talked about quite a bit with helping me out with setting up my cart and stuff, and Eddie is the racer. So they cut my tires and do a bunch of tire stuff for me, so I'm putting their stickers on the cart. I'm not going to get super technical with it. Sometimes let's do a quick measurement. I was gonna say sometimes I don't do measurements, but I guess I will. Let's see, I want it about there. And then I already wiped down the area, good enough at least. So just peel it off and boom, right there. E&J Cuts for tires right next to the front tire. Now onto the graphic savers. It's just these little strips of like plastic. This one's super clear, I like it. But it's pretty much as simple as figuring out what height you want it. I'm going with right there, halfway between the Bowman and the E&J Cuts. And then making sure it lines up, which measuring is really important with this because like right about there is actually level, but like I would have thought level was like that. So it's really just as simple as then just drilling, this one's only got 3 in it, some of them have like 5 holes, and then bolting it on. Pretty simple. Lesson I learned a while ago, get the first hole done and then go to the end one, and when you drill this one, drill it through the hole that's already in the graphic savers, and then you know for sure it's gonna line up. But then I went to do the middle, and if you can't tell, so like, well, there. So that hole you can see my finger through. That hole you see my finger. This one you don't, because there's supposed to be like a body anchor up here, but it didn't really work out, and I didn't want to drill another hole, so it's just not there. But the plate to anchor the body is right behind there. So yeah, couldn't get that third one in, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. It should be just fine. Graphic savers are on. You can check that out there, looking really good. And then I also went ahead and did the rivets on the nose molding. This one really needed it because like this corner was coming off really bad, but now that's not going to come off at all. And then graphic saver on this side, looking really good. I also went and put brake line clamp here to hold the brake lines better. And then I don't have brake lines over here, but I use another brake line clamp here to hold the throttle cable, and I'll gonna like zip tie the fuel line to it, just kind of keep this stuff more organized as well. Getting close. Let's go in here and check out what more there is to do. I apologize for not filming a ton while I'm doing this because I just really need to get this stuff done. All right, looks like what I have left to do is change the oil, lube up bearings and stuff, fire up the engine, and set the correct gear. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the correct gear that we're gonna be running for this weekend, and then change the oil, and probably the last thing I'll do is lube up the bearings and stuff. It is finally time, long awaited, fire up the engine on Nike. Whew, I am so ready for this. I decided I'm not gonna change the oil. I know the oil's good in there. I decided I'm not gonna change it until after I fire it up. That way it kind of mix everything up, gets it nice and warm. That way everything really gets flushed out, because it's only gonna be on for a second. So I'm not worried about it doing any damage or anything to the engine. I just need to check to make sure that the oil level is good. Oh yeah, there's plenty of oil in there. It just made a mess. All right. Yeah, it spilled out everywhere. Let me clean that up real quick. All right, here we go. I disconnected the actual fuel line here, and just ran it down for right now into a can down there, because for this weekend we'll have to get fuel from the approved fuel stop to ensure no one's cheating. So here we go. I'm gonna set you over here for a sec. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that feels awesome to have that running again. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless, honestly. That felt amazing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil real quick. Good morning, everybody. back at it again the next day. And since last time I saw you, I went ahead and finished up lubing all of the bearings and everything with Nike. So Nike is 100% ready to go racing. I put her out there in the trailer to give me some more room in here. And this morning I already came in and I put all of these air pressures at the pressure that I want them for sizing them. So I can check those in a bit once they settle into the size that they're going to be. And we are going to get working on Aries. So Aries should be pretty simple. I need to take the 206 engine off. I'm still waiting for my clone to get back from the engine builder, but I'll have that by this weekend. And then just put graphic savers on and lube the bearings, and I'm pretty sure that's it. So should be nice, quick, and simple on Aries today. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull off that 206 and get that stuff done real quick. All right, guys. Well, I didn't do a lot of filming today because I did some editing last night and realized this video is already super long. So yeah, I got everything ready to go. Both carts are more or less good to go. The only thing I still need to do is put an engine on Aries. Literally the only thing left to do. And then also we are hanging those cabinets in the trailer since we're not gonna have the workbench anymore. There's a little bit left to do on resizing tires, but those are all within an eighth of where they need to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and end off this video here. It is late. I need to do some editing to get this up for you guys tomorrow. But going to Caesars Creek this weekend, and you guys will see that video next Wednesday. Remember, like and subscribe. Let us know what you want to see. Pecker up, hammer down.